I don't even like BMWs, but this ain't just any BMW. I've got a phone call from a friend. He said, I've got a BMW that I want you to repair. And I just couldn't say no. It's a 4 Series 440i Category S write-off. Basically, it's smashed. This car was purchased off Copart Salvage auction, and the photos, well, they didn't look too bad, but later on we realised there were many more issues than what we could actually see. Buying crashed cars from auction is always a risk, and this one is no different. Okay guys, we'll get straight into this rebuild. I mean, straight away we know that this car has been hit from the front, and it looks like we need quite a lot of parts. What I can see is the bonnet. The bonnet has been hit. And we can see here, it's gone in from here and crumpled from the front. That's not good. Potentially we can repair this at bodywork, or perhaps it's lost its shape. If it's lost its shape, I can see it's quite curved here. But if it's lost its shape, we can't do much about it, but that's one for later on. The front, obviously we need a front bumper. We've got the bumper foam is cut off. We're not gonna go into too much detail just yet, because we'll only really know what we need once we strip off the front, and we'll get onto that shortly. But something which did strike out to me is the radiator. It looks like the radiator is also here. I mean, we can see the N sign here. They were assessing the damage, the insurance marked it down. The wing as well, I mean, from the photos, it looked like it survived, but it has survived, but it's been marked here. And when you take a closer look, there's a slight dent just over here. You see it's gone in slightly, just around here. So we're not going to get another wing. We should be able to just repair that once we take everything to bodywork in the end. And this ain't an ordinary BMW 4 Series. This is a 440i 6-cylinder 3-litre turbocharged engine. And now the inside. And the good thing is there's no airbag light. So we don't have no seat belts deployed, no steering airbags out, no dashboard airbag like our other cars. And the red leather seats look good. And they look like they're in very good condition because there's no cracks. It doesn't look like it's fading away. It just looks nice. This car just feels like it's well maintained, and I've been able to prove that with a service history check with full car checks. And this car has got full service history, and also on that report there's a full spec sheet, and this car has good specs. All right guys, let's just get back to the front and let's start stripping down the front end. We've got more parts we need to change. So, crash bar, we know we need to change that. It's bent here. It's a little bit wonky, so we know that. But behind the crash bar, on the chassis leg, we can see over here, it's actually cracked. So, where the impact was over here, this took a lot of the hit. And we can see over here, it's cracked, it's broken. So, this piece is slightly crumpled. So, we'll need to change that. But the good thing is, it's not the whole arm. We can change it from up to here. We also need to remove the driver's side headlight, as it's blocking access to the crash bar bolts. As we mentioned earlier, this chassis leg here has taken most of the impact. It's gone in, it's crumbled from the bottom, and this is probably why this is a Cat S and not a Cat N, just because of this piece here. But the good thing is we could just change it. We could take it off over here, put a new one on, and we'll be good to go. But for now, it doesn't affect our work. We'll leave this for now and we'll get back to it. What we'll do is now is take off this radiator, because as we mentioned earlier, it's broken, it's leaking coolant. So we'll take this off. Behind the fan, we've got the water pump just over here. And what we'll do is, we'll replace that as well. Not that we need to right now, but as a preventative measure, just because these engines are bulletproof, but these water pumps are known to go wrong. So we just want to avoid it getting worse over time. So whilst we're here, pretty straightforward. We'll go and get that changed. No coolant in here. So we can take the radiator off now. It's coming out now. Not as much as I thought will come out. So we've got the radiator pack out the way. And this is our new water pump and the seal. And when we take a look here, to get to the water pump is just over here. And it looks like there are just bolts. We can see one here, one up here, and there's going to be bolts around it. Once we unbolt those, this water pump needs to come out. But first, we need to release the tensioner just so we can get to this water pump, and we're going to put a new belt back in as well. Yeah, let's go.
And now, time for the new water pump.
Put a new belt in.
I'm just using a click torque wrench to tighten the water pump. I've set it to 10 Newton meters according to the BMW specifications. This is important so we ensure a proper seal and help prevent any leaks. And next up is the new radiator.
Some manufacturers require a special coolant filling process after draining the system, and BMW is one of them. The aim here is to remove air from the coolant system and then top it up with the new coolant. First, we run the vacuum and wait to see if there are any leaks. We want to reach a pressure of around negative 0.8 bar and hold it there, just in the yellow area. This doesn't look good.
It's just not reaching the right pressure.
So there might be a leak somewhere. We have a leak on the other radiator as well.
As you can see, the radiator is damaged, and to be honest, I thought it's okay. But the good thing is though, we've done our tests now, because the last thing we'd want to happen is to carry on with the build, put on the front bumper, and then later on we realized, hang on a minute, the radiator is not working. So good thing we noticed it now, saves us time. So we're gonna go and change that. There we go, the radiator is off now, and the damage was just over here. That's where the leak was coming from. But yeah, let's go and put a new one on.
So let's try this again, and this time it looks good. It's reaching the negative 0.8 bar, the yellow area. And now we can turn off the compressor and open up the valve for the coolant. The coolant is now running into the system, and we'll keep doing this until the pressure equalizes on the gauge.
Okay guys, we put the coolant in, and now we're doing the BMW bleeding process. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. And then we're keeping this hazard lights on. We're putting this to low beam, and we're putting the fan to what you said, and then maxing this out. Let's max it out, and then put my foot on the accelerator for 15 seconds. 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, I can hear the water pump now. That's on. That's good. That means we've done the process correct.
So we need to wait for 2 to 3 minutes and then start the engine. And following the service manual, we need to rev the car a few times and then slowly crack open the reservoir cap to check the coolant level, and the bleeding process is done.
Okay guys, and there we go. We ended up buying 2 new radiators, but we needed to. Now it's working fine. It's holding coolant. There's no leaks. So we're good to go there. So next thing to do is just to carry on with this build. Hey guys, so the headlight bracket is in now, but we have a small issue, because when we try to close the bonnet, as we can see just over here, it sits just on the latch, just up here. It shouldn't do that. It should be a bit further up, and it should sit comfortably over here. And if we take a look at the other side, we can see that this side is how it should be. So what we need to do is unbolt this headlight bracket, bring it forward slightly and bolt it back on. This headlight bracket is very, very important because that determines how the headlight sits. If it sits further forward, up, down, left, right, it's all here because there's a lot of movements around here, so we need to get it right. Let's go. I've gone to put this under tray on and I noticed something. There's an air temperature sensor over here. And we've got engine light on related to this air temperature sensor. Because during the accident, this ripped off, so there was no air temp sensor. Because of that, it has the engine light. But something which didn't make sense to me was, we've got on a sensor here, and on the air duct, we've got another air temperature sensor, and both for the passenger side. So it doesn't make sense to have two of these sensors right next to each other. But I figured it out. This is actually for the M Sport, like ours, and they've got the sensor on the air duct. And for the non-M Sport versions, they've got the sensor on the under tray. This is one I bought off eBay. It looked perfectly fine on the photos, but it's arrived and look what's inside of it. What's some small leaf or something, I don't know what that is, but some dirt. You see it moving around. And the headlight lens has been changed. So whoever changed the headlight lens, one, they didn't tell us, and secondly, they didn't do a good job because they left some dirt inside of it. And we can tell the headlight has been changed because I can see some of the glue just casually sticking out around here. That's not how it is. That's not how it should be. We're gonna have to sort this out. But for now, let's just check if the air temperature light has gone off. I'm so disappointed about that headlight. I can't believe there's some dirt inside the headlight. I mean, why didn't the seller just tell me? On the advert, there was no mention of it. It just looked like it was a perfectly fine headlight. And we paid the premium for it as well. It wasn't like it was something cheap and, you know, we took the gamble. But it is what it is now. But yeah, let's see if the engine light has gone off. I mean, previously it was there because of the air temperature sensor. So it should be fixed now, but let's have a look.
It's fixed. The engine light was related to the air temperature sensor, and once we had that fixed, the engine light also went off.
Progress update. So we've sent off our faulty headlight and we've bought a new one, and it's arrived today, just now. And with this headlight, the seller did say it doesn't come with a bulb and it doesn't come with a ballast. So at least we know. And it looks like it's in good condition. So this time round, hopefully the headlight is okay. Okay, there we go. Let's see. This is the moment of truth because we've been waiting for this headlight. Okay. On first glance, it looks good. The lens looks good. There's no debris or anything inside of it like we had on our old one. And yeah, so far so good. It's missing the ballast over here, the module in here. There's another ballast in here. Missing the bulb inside of here. So there's a lot of bits missing on this. And we need to get our old headlight and put the ballast and everything back into the new headlight. But we have an issue because we're missing a ballast over here. As you can see, we've got two here. And on this side, there's also two. But this one over here, we have. And this one, we don't have. So yeah, we need another ballast. But what I'm going to do is just carry on with the build. I can't stop for another headlight. We're running out of time. So we'll carry on with the build. Okay, we're almost there, and now we're going to focus on a front bumper. This is an old one, as you can see, it's smashed, but we can still reuse the fog lights and the trims on this side, and our new bumper is over here. So what we'll do is now is put all the bits from this one onto this bumper and all the new trims that we've bought. Let's go. Alright guys, we've got a small issue. The bonnet and the wing isn't sitting correctly. As we can see, the alignment here is not good. Whereas on this side, the alignment is much better. And because of the accident, we can see the damage was over here. But also, there's a chance that the bonnet has crumpled slightly and caused this side here to lift up. So that's something we need to look at when we take it to bodywork. Apart from that, the alignment here sits okay. But again, we'll only know once we put the front bumper on, and then we'll check whether we need to do more alignment work. We're almost done. I put the headlights back in, and now it's time for the front bumper. And we've put all the trims in. As you can see, it's almost there, apart from the two grills up here. And then we're gonna put this front bumper back onto the car. Let's go. There we have it guys. How good does that look? And the next step is bodywork. We need to take this car to bodywork because we need to repair the bonnet, and I'm hoping they can repair it because it's not just the damage at the front here. It looks like it's a little bit crumpled towards this area here. So we need them to fix that for us. Then obviously the front bumper, and the wing is slightly hit as well. As we can see here at the edges, that needs some work. But all in all, I'm happy with how the car has turned out, and we've done some alignment ourselves. I've managed to align the wing, the bumper and the headlight as much as we can over here. But all in all, look how good does this look. And now, let's take this car to bodywork, and then we'll get the final shots. Let's go.
And there we go. We ended up changing the bonnet because at bodywork they told us that the bonnet can't be repaired. So we managed to get hold of a new one, and yeah, build is complete. How good does this car look?
Okay guys, now it's the time. So earlier on I mentioned you get completely free car history check for the first 100 of you. So the discount code is IBSFIX100. All you need to do is go on fullcarchecks.co.uk, go to my account and create an account, which takes less than a minute, completely free, no hidden cost. And then go to the home page, enter your registration plate in there or any registration plate, go to the checkout and enter the code IBSFIX100,
and that'll give you a completely free car history check. So if your car's been written off, if it's been stolen, keep history, salvage details, finance, it's all included.
That's just my way of saying thank you to you guys, because the support I genuinely appreciate it, and everybody who's watching the videos.
Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It honestly helps the channel so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.